guys, so in today's video I'm going to show you how I cover my acne and acne scarring. So it's pretty much a full coverage foundation routine. It uses 4 products, it's really simple, it doesn't take me very long in the morning, but as you can see I do have areas that I want to cover up. The first thing I want to note is just kind of like what I do with my skin before I start applying makeup. So right after I wash, I use the Vichy Normaderm toner just with a cotton pad all over, and then I will take the Clean and Clear spot treatment anywhere I need it, which today would be everywhere. And then I would follow up with the moisturizer by Vichy, and this one has 2% salicylic acid, so you treat your acne while you moisturize. Then the next thing that I would apply is my Cover FX primer. This one is mattifying with 2% salicylic acid as well, so you kind of like are doing double duty with the moisturizer and with the primer. So I've already applied that, so I'm not going to go and put more on because you know what it looks like to put on primer. But the foundation that I use is the Clarins Everlasting Foundation, and this is a full coverage, oil-free, SPF 15 foundation. And the Pure Minerals concealer is, honestly, I don't know, it's nice. It's so creamy and I can't open it. So here's what it looks like. I tend to use a spatula to dig mine out rather than putting my fingers all in it. So what I'll do is scoop a little bit out and place it on the back of my hand, which I'm doing right now. So just like this, like that's probably as much as I'll need today. A little bit goes a long way. So I'll just kind of dip my finger in there. Make sure your hands are clean before you apply your makeup. And then I'll just go in and dot over any areas that I think need coverage. So as you can see, this concealer is a little bit too light for me, but my foundation is maybe a half shade too dark, so maybe that evens it out. But this concealer only comes in 3 shades, so it becomes a little bit difficult, but I find medium works pretty well. So once I'm done my concealer, this is kind of how it looks. So it covers pretty well, and then when I go into my foundation, sometimes I have to stipple a little more foundation on in the areas that I need it. So I like to work off the back of my hand, and I do the same thing with my foundation I do with my concealer. I just put some there, and then I use a brush, and then I just start to work my way around my whole face, and I do kind of like a pressing motion, and then I like wipe it downwards to blend into my neck. So just whatever works for you. If you want to use a sponge or your hands, that's totally fine, but I like using a brush just because it's, I don't know, the easiest and it keeps my hands the cleanest. So I'm literally just pressing it into my skin. And one area that I always forget is kind of like right here by my ear, because I don't have any acne there, so I almost miss my foundation there, and since it's a little bit dark you can always tell, so make sure you get that area right beside your ear and blend down. So you can see already this is just concealer and foundation. It's not an overly thick layer of makeup. My skin still looks fairly natural, I think. In my opinion, it doesn't look cakey or like that I've put a ton of makeup on, so I'm pretty happy with the way the foundation covers and the way it works with the concealer. So I think they are together a really, really great pair to use. The only thing you have to make sure of is that it's properly blended, and I'm kind of having a hard time with that today because I'm using the viewfinder as a mirror and I can't completely see what I'm doing, but you get the idea. I might even have to go over a couple areas that are a little bit darker and just stipple a little bit more foundation over top, but it doesn't look built up, like it kind of sits on itself really well. And a lot of people who just have minor scarring won't even need to use the concealer. They could probably skip that step altogether and just use this foundation followed by powder. So obviously I can't really hide the texture of these ones here. They're a little bit raised, but overall I think like the discoloration's gone down a lot, and if you are really good with blending down your neck, you won't have like a different colored face like me. So this is how my skin looks when only my foundation and concealer are on. My forehead doesn't really break out the same way my cheeks do, but I do get the odd one or two. So then I take my powder by Bourjois. It's mattifying and it's very silky. It's not cakey or heavy, and I'll just pat that all over. I try not to do any harsh circles or sweeping motions because I don't want to disturb the makeup that I'm putting. I just want to set it. So that is the finished foundation routine. Normally I would go in afterwards and apply a bronzer and a blush. Today I only really have a blush close by, so I'm going to use Benefit's Rockateur. And if I have a lot of darkness and if I have a breakout right here, I don't like to apply bronzer over that because I find that it just will make this look a lot darker than it is, and I've just worked so hard to cover it. So to go in with bronzer kind of like re-highlights the fact that it's discolored, so I'm just going to use a blush today. So that's it for my full coverage foundation routine. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe it helped some of you guys out. I really do stand by these products and I recommend them 100%. So if you have any other questions, just let me know. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.